I never thought I would fall in love again. Not after what happened with Daniel. Not after giving years of my life to a man who looked me in the eyes and promised forever, then turned around and broke me so completely I forgot who I was. My name is Selena, and this is the story of how love found me when I wasn't even looking for it. After Daniel left, my life felt like an echo of silence. The apartment we shared felt empty even when I turned on the TV just to hear a voice. I stopped cooking. I stopped wearing perfume. I stopped smiling. It's funny how heartbreak doesn't happen all at once. It breaks you slowly, piece by piece, until one day you wake up and realize you don't even recognize your reflection anymore. I told myself I needed time. Time to heal. Time to rebuild. Time to remember that my worth wasn't tied to being loved by someone who couldn't stay. So I moved. I left the city, packed everything I could into my small car, and drove until I reached a quiet coastal town called Silver Bay. A place where no one knew me. A place where I could start over. The first few weeks were hard. I rented a small cottage near the beach and spent my mornings walking along the shore, collecting seashells I didn't even like. It was just something to do, something to remind myself that the world was still beautiful even when my heart wasn't. And then one morning, I met him. His name was Elias. He was standing near the water, taking photographs of the sunrise. There was something calm about him. Something steady. He wasn't trying to be charming. He wasn't trying to impress me. He just looked at me, smiled, and said, "You came to watch the morning heal too?" Something in the way he said it made me laugh for the first time in months. That moment started everything. Elias became a quiet constant in my days. He ran a small art gallery in town, filled with paintings of the sea and old black and white photos of people who had lived there decades before. He had this way of capturing emotion in silence, of seeing beauty in broken things. Maybe that's why he saw me. For weeks, we met at the beach. We talked about little things. Books. Music. The way coffee tastes better when it rains. He never asked about my past. He just listened when I spoke. And when I didn't, he filled the silence with peace. One evening, as the sun melted into the horizon, I told him the truth. I told him about Daniel. About the betrayal. About how I had lost myself trying to hold on to someone who was already gone long before he left. Elias didn't interrupt. He didn't tell me it would be okay. He just looked at me with those soft gray eyes and said, "You didn't lose yourself, Selena. You just forgot where to look." Something in me shifted that night. The way he said my name, the way he saw through all the walls I had built, it felt like sunlight after months of rain. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into something deeper. One evening, he invited me to his gallery for a private viewing. When I walked in, the room was filled with candles. On the walls were photographs he had taken of the ocean, the same stretch of beach where we always met. But in the center of the room, there was one photograph framed larger than the rest. It was me. Standing by the water, wind in my hair, the sunrise behind me. I didn't even know he had taken it. When I looked closer, I saw the title on the small card beneath the frame. It read, "Healing." I turned to him, and in that moment, I saw everything he had been trying to say all along. He walked closer, his eyes never leaving mine. "You are the most beautiful thing I've ever captured," he whispered. And for the first time in years, I didn't look away. That night, we shared our first kiss. It wasn't hurried. It wasn't perfect. It was slow, trembling, full of unspoken promises. For the first time, I felt safe. The following months were like a second chance at life. We traveled together to nearby towns, laughed over burnt pancakes, and danced barefoot in the rain. I began painting again, something I hadn't done since college. Elias encouraged me to show my art at his gallery. And when people came and bought one of my paintings, he smiled at me like I had just moved mountains. Love with Elias wasn't a whirlwind. It was a sunrise, slow, patient, healing. But just when I thought my heart was whole again, life tested me. Daniel came back. He showed up at my door one rainy afternoon, drenched and desperate, saying all the words I used to dream of hearing. He said he was sorry. He said he made a mistake. He said he still loved me. For a moment, old emotions stirred, the comfort of what was familiar, the ache of what I once wanted so badly. But then I looked at him, really looked, and realized something. I didn't feel broken anymore. I didn't feel small or lost or unseen. I had healed. And the woman standing before him wasn't the same woman who once begged him to stay. So I told him the truth. You taught me what love shouldn't feel like, I said. But Elias taught me what love should. Daniel nodded, tears in his eyes, and for the first time, I felt peace instead of pain. When he left, I stood by the window, watching the rain fall, and I smiled. Because I knew love had found me again. Months later, Elias and I stood together on that same beach where we first met. The sun was rising, the waves brushing softly against our feet. He turned to me, holding a small box. I don't want to fix you, he said quietly. Because you were never broken. I just want to walk beside you, wherever life takes us. And right there, with the ocean as our witness, I said yes. Yes to love. Yes to healing. Yes to the beautiful, unexpected second chance that life gave me when I thought love was over. Because sometimes, love doesn't come to rescue you. It comes to remind you that you are always capable of saving yourself. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been broken by love, only to find someone who helped you heal again? Do you believe second chances in love are worth taking? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to read your stories. And if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because sometimes, the right story can remind someone that love still lives, even after heartbreak.